Welcome. In today's lecture, we shall discuss about the provision regarding legal rights. The law protects the legal right of every citizen. By being a citizen of a country, the people are given the legal right. It is a duty of every individual to protect the rights of each individual. First of all, in this lecture, we shall see the provision, we shall see the meaning of a legal right. In a general word, it means that the action which is permitted by the law is called as a legal right. Or the act which is recognized or protected by the state is called as a legal right. The definition is given by the number of jurists like Holland, Austin and Pollock. According to Salmon, a legal right is an interest which is protected and recognized by the rule of a law. It is an interest which has its duty and disregard of which is a wrong. According to Gray, the legal right is that power which the man has to make a person or a persons to do or a restrain from doing a certain act or acts so far as the power arises from society imposing a legal duty upon the person or a person. He states that the right is not the interest itself, it is the means to enjoy the interest secure. In the case of the state of Rajasthan versus Union of India, the Supreme Court stated that legal right is in a strict sense are a correlative to the legal duties, and a legal right are defined as the interests which the law protect by imposing the duties upon the another. But the legal right in the strict sense means the right is the immunity from the legal power of another. Immunity is a no subjection at all. Then we shall see the essential condition of the legal right. According to Salmon, there are 5 essential conditions that need to be fulfilled. The person of a inheritance or a subject of the right. He shall be the person who is the owner of the right. He is a subject of the legal right. Such a person is called a person of a inheritance. Example, why purchase a van for a rupees 20,000? Here, why is the subject of the right or a person of a inheritance. Even in case where the property is bequeathed to the unborn child, the unborn child is the owner of the property even though he is uncertain. Then second important element of the legal right is the subject of a duty or the person of a incidence. It is a duty of another person or a person to respect and recognize the right of the person. Such a person who has a legal duty is called a person of a incidence. Example, if A has a legal right against the B, then it is a duty of the B to respect the right of A. Then third important element of the right is a content or a subject matter of the legal right. The subject matter of a legal right is an essential element. It deals with the subject matter of the legal right. It is related to do something or to refrain from doing certain act or a forbearance. It obligates the persons to forbear or act in favor of the person possessing a legal right. For example, why purchase a van for rupees 20,000? Here, why is a subject of the right. The subject matter means why has a legal right and he can exclude the other. Then another important element of a legal right is the object of the legal right. The object of a legal right is a thing or an object over which the legal right is exercised. For example, A purchased the car for rupees 10 lakh. Here the car is a object, and another important element of a legal right is a title of the legal right. The title is a process by which the right is vested or conferred on the person. It is a certain event by which the right is acquired from its previous owner. Example, by purchase or by gift, etc. Then we shall see the classification of the legal rights. First of all, right in rem and right in persona. The right in rem is the right available against the society at large. For example, a crime is committed under IPC because it is a crime committed against the state. Then right in persona means the right that is available against an individual. Example, breach of a contract. When there is a breach of a contract, the party who has performed the act files the suit against the breaching party. The right in persona is a temporary in nature which can be converted into right in rem. The right in rem is a permanent in a nature. Then we shall see another important type of a right is type or a classification of a right is a positive right and negative right. A positive right is a right when some action need to be done by the person who has the corresponding duty. The person on whom the duty lies must perform some positive acts. The negative right are the right which omit the person from performing certain acts. Negative rights correspond the negative duty. The person on whom such a duty is imposed is restrained from performing certain act. Then we shall see the personal right and proprietary right. Personal rights are the right to respect the owner of the right. The personal right has a no economic value and this right is related to the personal status or a well-being. Example, right to life, right to live with a dignity, right to freedom of a speech and expression, etc. etc. The right of a property is given in respect of the owner of the property. These rights are a right which has a some monetary value or an economic value and constitute the estate of a person. Example, the Patent Act, right to land, debt, etc. Then we shall see the perfect right and imperfect right. Perfect right are protected and recognized by the law and the suit can be instituted in the court against the wrongdoer for the breach of it. For example, A has taken the loan from B. B has the duty to pay the loan and A has the perfect right to claim the loan amount. If B fails to pay, then A has a right to file a suit in a court. But in a imperfect right are those rights which are neither recognized nor protected by law. Example, if a loan become time bound, then he can claim his money back, but it cannot be enforced by the law. Then we shall see the principal and accessory right. The principal right is the most important right. They are the basic right that is vested on a individual. The accessory right is the consequential or incidental right. They are not important, but they are ostensible to the basic right. Then another important classification of the right, legal right, is a right in re alienea and right in re propria. Right in re alienea is the right available against the property of another person. Example, the right of a easement. It is a result of a jurisprudence concept of a dominant heritage or a servient heritage. And right in a re propria is the right available in respect of one's own property. It results in an absolute ownership. This is a result of a jurisprudence concept of the ownership. Then we shall see the corporal and incorporeal right. Both the right are protected by the law. The corporeal right is the right over the tangible object and material object. Corporeal right are having the right over the object which can be seen, touched or perceived. For example, I purchased the watch. The watch has a physical existence, so I have a corporeal right over it. The incorporeal right is the right over the object which cannot be seen or touched. Example, the right of a reputation, etc. Then we shall see the classification of a legal right as a classification of a right, legal right and equitable right. Legal rights are protected by the common law, that is the Court of England. Common law depend upon the uses and custom. And equitable rights are protected by the equity court or the court of a chancellor. The basic principle is a natural justice, equity, justice and good conscience. Then primary right and sanctioning right. It is one of the important classification of the right. The primary right is important and is a very basic right. These rights are ipso facto. These rights are independent in nature. It has a binding force. They are a right in a rem. Example, the right to reputation. If these rights are infringed in such a case, a person can approach the court of law. A legal remedy is available against such a right in the form of a compensation or imposing a penalty or imprisonment. Sanctioning right are those rights, resultant right. They are supporting the right to primary right. They are a right in a persona which result from some wrongdoing. Example, it arises where there is a infringement of a primary right. Public right and private right. The public right is the right that is exercised by the state. Example, right to vote, right to use a road, etc. The private right is exercised by individual for his personal benefit. For example, right to sleep, right to clean water, etc. Then we shall see the vested right and contingent right. Vested right is the right which is vested on the person from the very beginning. No event are required to take place for confirming the right of an individual. It depends upon the present situation. Contingent right are the rights which are conferred on the happening or a non-happening of a certain act. The right depend upon the future act. If the act which is prescribed take place, then only the right will be conferred on the person. Then we shall see how the legal rights is or how the legal rights are enforced. Ubi jus ibi remedium is one of the important maxim in a jurisprudence, which means that there is a right. Whenever there is a right, there is a remedy. If the person's right is violated, that can be approached to the court. They can get the relief in the form of a compensation. When the compensation does not satisfy the claim of a plaintiff, then the court may order for the specific performance of the contract. It is governed by the Specific Relief Act. In this way, these are a certain important legal right. Then we come to the duties. When the right is given to a person, then it is assumed that certain duties are also imposed on the person. The right has its correlation with the duties. There are two kinds of duties. When it is obligation of the person to perform his duty, when he has a legal duty. But in case of a moral duty, he has no such obligation. It is one of the discretion of an individual. The duties are classified into the absolute duty, relative duty, positive duty, negative duty, and primary and secondary duty. In the conclusion, we can say that, or we can conclude that right and duties are coexistence. In the words of the Salmon, it can be said that no right exists without the corresponding duty. Every duty to person must be the duty toward the some person in whom the right is vested, and conversely every right must be against some person upon whom a duty is imposed. In this way, in today's lecture we discussed about the concept, meaning and classification of the legal right. Thank you very much.